Hey everybody, this is a recording after the fact, even though I'm playing it at the beginning of the podcast. I just wanted to give you a heads up. We had a lot of technical difficulties on this one. We record via Skype, and there's a lot of conversation dropouts and freezing and stuff like that. So this podcast isn't up to our typical standard that we would like. So I want to apologize in advance for those of you listening. Yes, we decided to move forward with it and use it because we recorded for an hour, and our podcasts tend to be a little bit spontaneous, so it's like we couldn't recreate it and make it as good or make it the same. So we rolled with it. I edited it, and here it is. So again, I apologize for the quality control issues involved, but it's still a very entertaining show, a very good show, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. What's going on, everybody? It's your host Rob, and I have Vixen and Kerra with me today, and this is another episode of She Said, He Said. We're all in a bit of a somber mood. We have not had the best of days today. I had a bad day, and then I was like, Vixen, yeah, we're still recording, and she was like, I had a bad day. And then and Kerra was like, yo, my day was the worst, yo. I'm like, dang.
Wait, why didn't you give me a
I know, she got the
like
really
that
girly
too?
voice, and then I got like the man voice. Like, what's that about?
Well, you're from up north, so I was trying to add the little,
I had to sound like a dude, like I'm a thug.
You got
I mean, I
that
am kind of like
I
a
was
little
the one
thug
that
on the
called
low.
you and said, yo, my day was so bad.
Yo, yeah, I had to ask my friend to pray for me. I was like, yo, I just need more competent people around me. That's all I need, and I'll be straight, man. Like, for real. That's all I need. All right. How are you? Other than your bad day, Vixen, how are you?
Doing so well. Besides my bad day. Are you drinking alcohol? I need to start drinking alcohol when I
should.
do
It's great.
because I feel like why not?
I
And
ran
it
out
will
of
make
wine,
it
or else I would
funnier.
have had a glass.
But no, I'm doing totally fine, and today was the last day of my regional, so I have the day off tomorrow.
Oh,
Yay.
congratulations.
Lucky you.
Yep. Thank you.
Kerra, how are you?
I'm good, actually. Like she said, we all had kind of a crappy day, but I'm actually good.
Word.
Feel great.
And actually, wait, can I say one more thing? I totally forgot to tell you, but I went on a date last night.
Ooh.
A blind date, actually.
Can I
That's really
introduce
funny.
the topic? Okay. Well, I'm glad you said that. All right. So the topic, first of all, thank everyone who's been tuning in and listening and subscribing and actually sharing. We really appreciate it. A lot of hard work goes into these videos. I mean, we spend a lot of time, effort, and energy on these topics. And I spend the time editing these videos, and I try to keep a tight schedule. We're actually keeping up pretty well, but we do it for you guys and girls. We want you guys to listen to the video. We want feedback, and we hope that some of the stuff we say hits home, and that it's actually helpful for you to help you grow as a person. It's not just about our buffoonery. Like, of course, it's fun. And we have fun together, but at the end of the day, it's about passing on that good old knowledge to the next person.
Yeah, we make the mistakes so you don't have to.
Word, yo.
That's right. We'll be your test dummies.
Yeah. So, today's topic is blind dates and how to survive them. So we're just gonna talk to you all about blind dates that we've been on, and just our experiences and things to do. And I have a couple of interesting stories. But yeah, a couple of them. Just I don't want to go first on this one. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, let's let
I'll go
Vixen go
first.
first.
Oh, look at y'all.
I'm waiting to hear her story.
I have some really good stories. Okay, so firstly, I will say, blind dates can be really, really fun. I totally encourage them all the time, as long as you get your own ride there. Never have somebody that you don't know come pick you up, because that's dangerous.
Yeah.
And pick somewhere where it is acceptable to leave after like 30 minutes, just in case they're terrible. So I've made the mistake of, this is true. I've made the mistake of committing to dinner or lunch, which could potentially be like an hour to a 2 hour kind of ordeal, depending on the restaurant and the seating and the waiting and all of that. So I'm thinking best bet on a blind date is to keep it short and sweet, like coffee or alcohol, or appetizers. That way,
Alcohol's
if they,
not always a good thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree
terrible.
with that, but keep it short. So if getting a drink for happy hour is something that you enjoy doing, it's also something you can cut short, if they are under 5 feet tall or don't have any sense of humor.
Dude, that's so funny. 'Cause
What?
I'm like, I will not date a short guy.
100%. So
Sorry,
that brings
short guys.
I mean, I'm 5'5", so I'm
You
not
are?
like, yeah. So I'm not extremely tall, but if you are my height or shorter, my personal preference is not that. So I have adopted like 5 main questions that you need to ask before you go on your blind date. One of which is, how tall are you? And from what year are the pictures that you have uploaded on your
I'm
social
getting
media
off.
site?
I'm cutting the broadcast short.
No,
Really?
No, this is great advice.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Honestly, because you can't trust photographs.
Nope.
You just cannot. So perfect example, when I first moved to Chicago, I went on 2 blind dates, both of which had gentlemen that were my height or smaller.
Yeah.
So that is shorter than 5'5", and again, that's just not my personal preference. And now I've gotten in the habit of being like, by the way, how old are your pictures? So how current are your photographs, and how tall are you? Also, do you have a good relationship with your mother or your sisters? Do you have friends who are women so that you know how to respect a girl? Those are, I think, are my 3 main questions that I ask. And then occasionally, there's a couple others. But I want to go back to what Kira was saying about the alcohol, because my go-to is always happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that is also something that people tend to do wrong. Maybe alcohol is not. I mean, it tends to loosen you up a little bit.
If you do it in moderation,
you know,
it's a loosen up thing. Like, you won't feel as bad after you take a shot.
This is true, but also it'll make you look at people differently. You look at things differently. Well, at least me, when I drink a little bit, everyone's a lot more likable when I've had a couple in me.
I think it depends on your tolerance. Because some people can have 1 or 2 drinks and be drunk, and be all friendly and be overly friendly at the bar with the person they're with, or maybe someone else. I personally, I don't mind. Like, if I'm going on a blind date, I would probably just get a glass of wine. I'm not gonna drink hard liquor. That would be my go-to. So I'd be at happy hour with a glass of wine.
I have the ultimate blind date tip. Set your expectations really, really low. That way you won't have to worry about being disappointed.
Very true. I don't want to waste my time with somebody who's mediocre.
Well,
it's only 30 minutes.
That's the thing about blind dates, though, is like, you are putting the next 30 minutes of your time kind of in somebody else's hands. You're expecting them to be respectful and personable, and you hope that they are all of these things. And then when you're not, I tend to get really disappointed, which is why I lead with those basic questions. Because if you are too short, I'm going to ignore everything that you're saying, and I just cannot wait to leave.
Well, here's the thing too, though, man. Like, it depends on what you're going on the blind date for too. Like, are you looking for love? Like, for me, the one never mind, mine are bad examples for what I'm about to say.
You're looking for sex.
Yeah, you might be looking for some pussy.
Some gold
I think that should be established beforehand.
No.
No, I don't agree with that.
Nah, hold on. Let me finish. There's that. And there's just someone who wants to go out and have fun. I've done that. Like, well, they weren't really blind dates, but I've asked girls to go on dates, like, just to go out so I could be in the company of a woman who isn't necessarily my quote-unquote friend, just to learn more about them, just to be around them. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what could become of it. I mean, just because y'all go out and you don't have a romantic attraction doesn't mean that y'all can end up couldn't end up being friends or something like that, because you never know, networking. But let's get into some stories. It's storytelling time. Well, Kira, do you have any blind date advice? Sorry.
I have one story, and my advice is just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't even set yourself up, because like she said, I mean, basically you can pretend to be on the internet, and 9 times out of 10 the person that you think you're going out with is not the person you're going out with.
Totally.
Like,
I agree with that.
Like physically, just everything. I mean, most of the time, if the person's not someone I would really go for physically, if they have like a bomb personality, I'll still kick it with them. But it's usually not like that. It's usually like a fail. Like
100%.
physically and just mentally, you failed.
100%. And to that point, I have a perfect story. Okay, so it'll only take a couple of minutes to share.
Yep.
But, okay, so, Kira, you're totally correct. I feel like people use their social media profiles, whether it's Bumble or Tinder or Match.com or their Facebook, whatever, and they try to represent themselves in a way cooler, way hotter way. I mean, I will be honest, I definitely use pictures where amazing because of my angle or whatever. Do a little airbrush.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah. But that's not not being truthful to the full extent. And it's almost embarrassing when I go out with these guys and they're thinking in their head, wait, this girl does not look as good in person, and I'm thinking the same thing. So I rather put up some mildly unattractive pictures of myself, and then the guys that do accept those pictures will be pleasantly surprised when I show up looking like a 10 and they were expecting a hard 6. Story really quickly. So when I first moved to Chicago, I of course used the Bumble app, which is just kind of one upgrade from Tinder. It's basically the exact same thing. You put up your pictures, you swipe depending on what guys you think or girls you think are attractive. If you both are matched with each other, to start the conversation first. So I had matched with this guy named Trevor. Great pictures, football star. He posted some pictures of him in his uniform. He had a full head of hair in all 5 of his Bumble pictures. Okay. Sounded really cool, quoted some movies that I was into, and I was like, this could be something fun. At least somebody who I would hang out with, possibly. So we decided to meet up, and oh my God, we met at a hookah bar. It was 8 o'clock at night. I didn't really know anybody else in the city yet. He's one of the first I've gone out with, and I kid you not, I walk in, did not know where this motherfucker was sitting because I didn't even recognize him from his pictures.
Wow.
So he stands up. He is 95% bald. He 150 pounds heavier than he was in his pictures, and I could not even handle that. So I sit down, and he is automatically so flirty and touchy, and it was very uncomfortable. Of course, I asked him, hey, like, what year were the pictures that you had posted on your Bumble? And he said high school. So not only was he talking to a underage gentleman, making me slightly
hypothetically gotta protect you legally.
But those pictures were 10, 15 years out of date, which I think is ridiculous.
It's crass.
So, right, I can understand maybe a year or two, because I post pictures from like a year or two. I didn't change much, but you got those couple like really hot pictures, and you're like, yeah, I look good in this one. Like, I'm gonna post this.
Exactly. So it just was kind of a fail all around, and it really made me realize that even though I am being honest on these social media kind of platforms, which is usually how blind dates get started nowadays, it is 2017, but not only am I being honest, it's like other people are not being honest. So you have to ask these follow-up questions. Do you actually like those movies that you're quoting? Did you actually go to this college? How fucking tall are you? Do you have all of your hair? So it's like I can't trust anything. Yeah. So
you can't.
either ask those questions or you steer clear of the blind dates via social media.
Yep.
I agree.
Oh, I don't want to tell my stories.
That's why I said just don't do it. Mine is like really, really quick because it didn't last long. Because I'm ignorant, so I just walked out.
All right.
So, yes, my advice: don't ever do it. It was one and done. I've only had one, and I've never, ever done it again. Did play wingman for a couple people, but no blind dates. I'm always like, send me a picture, and I'm like, all right, I can tolerate that person. So before iPhones and FaceTiming, because that's my new thing, I'd be like, what? You got an iPhone? FaceTime me. Let me see. I went on a blind date years and years ago. This was like probably over 10 years ago. I was really young. Damn, I made myself sound old just now. Yeah, 30 plus. So the kid, when I tell this
really?
Story, yes. I'm not gonna say 30 plus.
No way.
I'm 30 plus. Yeah, Rob's like old and I'm old. So
what?
What?
Go ahead.
Never mind.
Wait, I really.
Matter of fact, hold on.
Not allowed to.
You said what? All right, sorry y'all. We had some technical difficulties, but I think we got everything straightened out. But it's time to hear from our sponsors. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with She Said, He Said. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are back. So Kira, you can go ahead with your story.
Okay, so I don't know where I left off. I don't even know if I really started, but
You didn't.
I went on this. Okay, so years ago. I went on this one and only first and last blind date. My friend actually set it up.
I'm sorry, me and Allie are looking at your boobs right now.
110%.
Not that big. Just they look big. This is a really good bra, by the way. Victoria's Secret. Yeah, this is the type of stuff that happens. Okay, so blind date. Are you guys just gonna look at my boobs?
I don't have a problem with that at all.
I know you don't.
I like boobs.
Think.
I have.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell my story.
Okay.
All right. So we go out. We meet at a local restaurant, nothing fancy or anything like that. Real casual. It's kind of, but it was like a lunch date. I will leave. How old I am by saying that. So I'm gonna tell y'all later.
Hold on, your mic broke up. You said you'll leave what?
How we met out of it, because it's gonna tell my age.
Okay.
And I just want to remain young forever. You're gonna laugh when I tell you. I'll tell you off record.
No, tell me now.
No.
Tell me.
So, no. Are you done now? Okay. So
give me a clue.
We meet at a local restaurant, and
I know how you met him.
Would you shut up? You don't know how I met him.
It was Studio 55. Go ahead. You remember that?
Anyway. No, and that's not how we met.
Okay.
Anyway, so we go to a local restaurant. I'm trying to leave names and shit out of it. We go to a local restaurant, and it's like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It's sunny outside, summertime. I had on a little sundress, something casual, cute, but still, nice enough to show my curves.
Oh.
Yeah, cake was jiggling and all. So I walk in, and it's kind of like Vixen's story. I don't see him, and I'm like,
oh, you saw him.
Okay, so I just kind of sit at the bar, and I'm like, sipping a drink, and this guy walks over, and he's like, are you, Kerra? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm looking at him like, you don't look like the guy that I'm supposed to be meeting. I was like, how do you know me? He's like, I'm your blind date. And I'm like, oh shit. So me and my friends have this code thing. Rob, don't laugh because you know this, because I used it with you. Whenever I'm on a bad date, we usually establish a code before I go out. And I'm like, if I text you this code, call my phone immediately and act like you're dying. I don't care what you do. I don't care if it makes sense. Just yell in the phone, scream, yell, say whatever you need to say, and I'm just gonna not make sense, and I'm gonna leave, and I'll be right back. So that's what happened. It was like code red, phone call. I was like, what? You need? Okay. No, calm down. I'll be right there. No, I'll be right there. Like that type of thing.
I think that's smart too.
I said I have an emergency and I have to go. Here's one thing I do. He looked nothing. He was like a really nice looking guy in his pictures, like tall. Cause I like tall guys, 6 feet and over. I'm 5'1", but I like my guys 6.
You like giants?
Tall guys, by the way. Yeah. He was tall, handsome, just well dressed, well groomed, very attractive, and that's not what walked in. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't even want to talk about it, but I'm just gonna leave it.
So he sent you fake pictures?
Either fake pictures or really old pictures, or pictures of someone he's related to, because it looked kind of like him, but like not really. Like they favored each other, but it was not him.
Dirty.
I think that that's a really good idea to just have some sort of like code, and it doesn't have to be like anything like super dramatic, but like being able to send your friend a text, or at least having them on standby, where it's like, hey, if I text you from the bathroom, or if I text you code red or something, that is your cue.
Dude, it's literally like one word. I'm just like, we're gonna establish a word
and take me away, or come up with some like bullshit story where I need to leave, and then I'll meet you at the bar down the street.
There you go. There you go.
Like you call and be like, my cat's dying. You're like, what? Who died? Oh my god. Okay, I'll be right. Like seriously, it's just like, what?
Oh my god, though. I will say though that I have been on a date before where the guy did that to me.
I've never actually heard of a guy doing that. That's
listen, okay, no, listen. I just thought of this. I've like blocked it out of my mind because it's so embarrassing.
He dipped on you? Oh.
Okay, Robert, literally, you're gonna die. So I met up with him. His name was Kevin. So Kevin, fuck you if you're listening. So it was his name was Kevin, and he is from Somerville originally, but is living in Chicago. And
all right, y'all. We're having all kinds of difficulties with Skiznape right now. So, Vixen, go ahead with your story. Sorry.
That's totally fine. So I'm meeting Kevin
You're so
at
cooperative.
an Irish bar in the West Loop.
Oh, you want some of my native land to get something to eat there? That's crazy.
Which means I have to take the train on the red line, which is so fucking sketchy, to get to the west of downtown. It was my first time on the train. I feel like I was doing a lot to meet up with this Kevin. So I get to the bar 20 minutes late. Kevin shows up. He orders a drink under my tab, which I had obviously opened before he had gotten there. We talk for maybe 10 minutes. He's only talking about himself and his the fact that he is a doctor, and he is maybe a 5 when his pictures displayed at least a 7. So he's not very cute. He's definitely not cute enough to be a dick. But anyways, so he's talking about being a doctor. He's not asking me any questions, and suddenly his beeper goes off. Who the fuck owns a beeper who lives in 2017?
Doctors.
Yep.
Okay, on a beeper though, and I kind of know how a beeper works. You get like a message of no more than like 5 characters, I feel like. It's like supposed to be like a signal that tells you to do something, right? Like a beeper is not like a fucking phone. So
No,
he goes, I just got a beeper message letting me know that there are some emails that I need to check in which a patient's x-ray images have come through. And I'm thinking, A, that is way too many characters, and B, doctors don't send confidential x-ray images through like Gmail. They don't send that shit through email. So this guy thought I was dumb enough to believe that, and also totally ditched me. And I was for him, I bet. And so he just leaves. He leaves me with the tab, and it was totally, completely the most ego stabbing thing I've been through. It was awful. But I guess Kevin and his friends code going on with beepers where if you're not interested, he gets a friend to beep him code red, and then he makes up some bullshit about having emails. So
better. Sorry, Rob.
I'm sorry.
Never had that happen to me before.
That's sad. He shows up, and you had to pay for his drink. Wow.
Oh, another tip: get his license plate.
What?
Anytime, if he's picking you up. So anytime I go out with somebody, not even on just a blind date, anytime a guy comes to pick me up, regardless of where I am, I always get the license plate number, the model and make of his car.
I guess that's a good safety tip.
I send it to my girlfriends. So I give a full description of what he looks like and what he's wearing. So if I ever get kidnapped, you know where to find me. Or you know who to look for.
I hope you don't get kidnapped.
I'm just saying, I feel like one day somebody might try to put me in a trunk. Because I'm small.
Okay, I'm gonna knock on wood. I don't know if that does anything, but
I mean, I'm small and I just always feel like trunk.
Okay.
That is so funny. See, nobody drives here in Chicago, so everybody just takes Lyfts or Ubers or the train. I don't have to worry about getting stuffed in a trunk.
Your Uber driver can stuff you in a trunk.
Oh my God.
You know
okay.
so
Off topic. Anyway, thank you guys. I'm glad you listened to the stories that the ladies have shared. I hope you enjoyed them. I'm not telling my stories because they're too embarrassing.
What?
Oh, that is not fair. You gotta tell at least one story.
Okay. I will give y'all two. I have a few actually. One when I was mad young. This was Studio 55 days. Kira know what that is. You remember Studio 55?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Studio 55. Okay. Back in the
oh my God, you're gonna tell it.
Back in the late 90s. Yeah, early 2000s. There were these things called party lines. And party lines were free. There were local phone numbers you could call, and basically you had your number pad on your phone. For my old school people, you had the numbers 1 through 9. They were all rooms, so you called the party line, and then you could pick what room you wanted to go into, and you basically would be entered into what you would know as today a conference call with a bunch of random other people who've called up. So you're
where
literally
you could do the private thing and you record your message, and it usually had some like sexy music playing in the background, and like the girl would get on there and be like, "Hey, what's up?
That is so funny."
And I'm 5'1", and
it was the best thing in my life because everyone.
Oh my God! It was like
everything was good. Every girl sounded delicious. I loved it. So it was like and they had a bulletin board. When you first get on, you could check the bulletin board to see who all was on there. Like, cause you had a name. You made up a fake name, so you kind of like gained relationships. Like I had like best friends on there.
Rob, what was your party line name? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Because I've heard the story before.
That's funny.
It was. Oh yeah. Hey, we're not gonna go down that road. My party line name was Batman and Waffles. Anyway, oh, I was young and dumb, okay, and it made the ladies laugh. But anyway, there was this chick on there, and I would run into her every. She was on there about as much as I was. I was mad. I wasn't. I think I was in 9th grade, 10th grade. Oh, I got 2 stories actually from this. So this one chick, we kept talking or whatever every once in a while. So we went to a private room, like Kira said, and the lingo was, "Yo, let me get you 3. Let me get you 3." Everybody had a special 3-digit code.
Yeah.
Where if I put in your 3-digit code, you put in my 3-digit code, and we would link automatically. So her and I was talking. So I was like, yo, you know what I mean?
You.
Yeah, I told her, I was like, yo, I'm young. I was like, you know what I mean? I'm only 16. I was 16. I was like, I'm 16. She was 20. So I was like, I want to see you or whatever. So she asked me what I looked like. I described it. She told me what she looked like. She described it. I mean, this is before the age of Facebook and Google and looking up people. So my dad was at work. Oh, man. Yo, so I'm like, you know, spraying the good stuff around the house. I done vacuumed. I'm like, yeah, about to give me some draws. Yo. Y'all need to Google this, okay? Google this later on. This chick showed up. Now, my apartment, it was like, think of an L shape. And if you think about the L shape part that's at the bottom, that was my building. And you had to walk up to my building. So there's a long walkway. So I could see the parking lot and anything that was coming in my direction. So I'm sitting in my room looking out the window. And I see this chick walking up. Yo, she looked like, if you ever seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, the really bad one with John Leguizamo, them Goombas, that's what she looked like. Yo,
I hate you so much.
She looked like one of them Goombas, yo. She had a scarf on her head or whatever. So I let her in. We talked for like 10 minutes. I was like, you want some water?
You still let her in? That was nice.
Yo, she came from like North Philly. You know where we lived at. Yo, she traveled like 45 minutes to see me.
Yeah.
So I gave her some water or whatever. And then I didn't have a code back then, but I was smart. So I don't remember what it was, but there was a number you could dial on your phone to make your house phone ring. So I didn't have a cell phone, so I did that. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I picked up the house phone, I dialed that number, I hung it up, used the bathroom. 5 minutes later, my phone rang. I was like, oh shit, my dad's coming home, yo, you gotta roll. She's like, all right, and she left. You know what I mean? And that was the end of that. And every time I heard her on the party line after that, I just avoided her. She'd be like, hey Batman, boop, you're now in room 5. I'll be out, yo.
Oh my God. It's so funny because you could like jump rooms and everything, like, and you would just get into a room, it'd be like some guy in the background beating off, like, what the hell? You like, nah, I gotta go. But I was always like the creep listener, so I would like listen to it.
Whatever. I never did stuff like this.
No, like seriously, like you would walk into a room and it'd be like quiet, and then all of a sudden you just hear like a moan. You're like, because it used to tell you how many people were in the room when you come in. It'll be like, oh, this room had 7 people.
Oh shoot, hold on, sorry.
My God.
Oh wait, we got to take another commercial
Rob,
break.
we need to do like a reminiscing.
No,
episode
I'm not going
like
back.
The 90s.
I'm not going back.
We do.
Yo, you come in that room? Oh. Sometimes it was me. All right, we're gonna get a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. She said, he said. All right, y'all, we're back from break. That was too funny. The Goomba chick. But anyway. All right, so I got one more story for y'all. So I'm back to the party line. Batman and Waffles. I'm like the most popular person on there.
Were you only like 17?
Yeah. But you know, I have a dynamic personality. But anyway, so I'm back on there. I was 18 at this time because I started school late because of my birthday. And I'm getting ready to go to college. Now, one thing about me, anyone who really knows me, I'm known for I'm wise beyond my years. And I know how to hold it.
So true.
Thank you. I hold a great conversation. So there was just one chick on there. We would just talk, you know what I mean? Like, you know, when I was younger on there, I would just be like, trying to be like, oh yeah, let me play with yourself so I can listen. Yeah, you know, going through the Jergens like crazy. But as I got older, as I got older, you know, and more mature for my age, I wanted conversation. Weird old me. Because I like learning. So me and this one chick, her name was Lex. I think that was her party line. I don't remember. But we talked a lot, man. We talked on there for like, we talked for like a good week or two, and then we got each other's numbers, like for real, and we would talk to each other off of that. So we talked for like 2 months, and I was like, yo, we should go out. Cause she was 20 and I was 18, so that made it a bit better. So I was like, I'm learning from the Goomba, and I was like, nah, yo, meet me at Franklin Mills, which was,
yep.
I said, meet me at Franklin Mills. You know what I mean? Y'all know what Franklin Mills is. So she met me at Franklin Mills, and yo, she looked good. Like, she was cute. You know what I'm saying? And she liked me too. So I was like, word. So I think this is when I fell in love. We was about to go to the movies. She was like, nah, yo, the stuff in there is expensive. She was like, come on. I was like, where we going? She was like, just come on. So those of you who don't know, I grew up in Philly. But anyway, they had a dollar store in the freaking mall. Yo, we went in the dollar store, and she loaded up on snacks, bro. Like, she got at least 10 or 15 things and put it in her bag. And then we went to the movies. And we had a great time in the movies. I don't remember if I kissed her or not. I can't remember. I can't even remember. Oh, you know what I saw with her, yo? What's the Martin Lawrence movie where he dresses as the grandma?
Big Mama's House?
Big Mama's House is what I saw with her.
I couldn't get it out. I was like...
Somebody Google that and see when that came out.
Probably like 2003.
Yeah, that was my senior year in high school. Yep. Look at that. What a memory. We saw Big Mama's House. Yo, and then we parted ways, and we kept talking on the phone. For some reason, I think she met my dad. I think she did, because I think I don't know. I can't remember. It's so long ago. But, yo, I really liked her, man. Then I was going off to college, and she was like, well, I don't really see a point in us really continuing to talk, because I don't want you to, you're going to go to college, and you're going to grow up, and all these girls are going to be there, whatever. Like, before we even really got into anything, it was kind of like over. And I was upset because I liked her, you know what I'm saying? And she looked good. And I went to college. I had her address. And I want to say I wrote her one letter. I think I did. I don't know. I don't remember. But I went to college. I never heard from her again. So Alexis, if you're out there, it's me, Batman and Waffles. I've returned. Baby Batman returns.
With waffles.
That is
hot piping waffles for you. Yeah.
Aww.
So that was a good blind date, even though in hindsight she could have totally slit my throat. But this is before. No, I'm just kidding. This is before people were crazy too, man. You didn't have to take as many precautions.
It wasn't uncommon to meet people, and they weren't crazy, because it was like there was no. I mean, we had like MySpace and Black Planet. There was no no Facebook. There weren't apps where you could like change your appearance and things like that. So it was just like technology wasn't as high tech. Like, I didn't have a cell phone until I was 17.
Yep.
And it was like a Kyocera. It wasn't even like anything fancy. It was just stupid.
And no texting either. You're calling people.
And then it's like I had a pager while I was in high school.
I didn't have one. I was jealous. Them two ways, yo.
My cousin worked at the cell phone store, so I had one like every color.
Yeah.
Shout out to my cousin Bobby. I had the pager hookup. Bill was free and everything. Used to get the 143s from little boys in school. I was hyped. But
oh, I just had deja vu. When you said pager.
143. What do you mean?
It meant I love you in pager talk.
Oh my god.
That's so sweet.
Yep. So
Rob, shut up. Like, ain't never get sentimental over a 143. Oh, you didn't have a pager.
I didn't have a pager, so I didn't get sentimental over anything. Sentimental of being left out of the cool kids group. Vixen, you got any more stories? I got one more I got to drop on y'all. It's embarrassing, but I'm gonna do it.
Let me see. Do I have any more terrible dating stories?
Do you have any good ones?
Yeah, actually, the one I went on last night was so good.
Oh,
you're like a pro at this.
Do tell.
I am all alone here in Chicago with no friends.
I was like, I need dating tips or something.
We'll do a show on that later.
So yeah, we had a really good time yesterday. We met up at a bar because we realized that we lived in the same neighborhood, and we hung out for like 5 hours. And he bought me swag from his work. He works for like a mug and glassware. So he's the engineer for like all of the coffee mugs and like cups and stuff. And so he brought me like presents. He used to work for Yankee Candle, so he bought me a Yankee Candle.
That's awesome.
Oh, those are expensive, and they last forever.
I know, and the big one too. It was look how big this is.
That's what she said.
And he was so nice, and he's texting me all day.
Oh.
And his name is Dane, and so I was texting like my girlfriends from
Charleston. That name is so whack.
Well, hashtagged Great Dane, like the dog, because they think that they're so funny. But yeah, that one was a good date. I had fun, and my headphones are caught under my pillow. That was a good sorry. That was really good. So there are good people out there. I think that you, going back to Rob, what you said, like, kind of expect the worst and set your expectations low, but like don't ever set your standards low. So if you know a guy or girl shows up and they don't fit your standards, I don't think there's anything wrong for fucking leaving, like bouncing and not having to stay time. So, but there are definitely some like safety things that you have to keep in mind when it comes to blind dates. But overall, depending on the experiences that you kind of like, whether or not you want to take that chance, just know that not everybody that you meet via is going to be the next person that you marry, or even
I think it's usually like a fun thing. It's like speed dating, to go on a blind date. I don't think people should look for romance because it ends up in disappointment.
Mm-hmm. Like if it happens,
because
like
you're gonna expect something. None of that. So. Right. Know a person on a friendship level from a blind date, and then if you like them and you guys have good chemistry and stuff, let it build from there. But I don't think anyone should use blind dates for like romance.
Well, I guess I kind of sort of made that mistake. I think I messed up potentially one of the best opportunities I may have ever had with a woman. Like, ever.
With Alexis, you mean?
No, this is different. So, those of you who are avid listeners, and you've heard my shows with Nika and Wes, because you would have heard them by the time you hear this. Nika being my absolute bestest friend. Love you too, Vixen. But Nika is like, yeah, known her since 88. I
wasn't even born then.
Oh. Oh.
We always go over this.
You're younger than my sister. Aww.
I'm the baby. Robert.
So I hate you. Listen.
You don't know.
I know. Wait, we're gonna take another quick commercial break, and then I'm gonna tell y'all one of the biggest fuck ups I ever made in my life. You'll hear back. Here's a word from our sponsors. We'll be back in a few seconds. She said, he said. All right, we're back. Sorry y'all, this is probably the worst show ever, and I'm mad because Kira has her new mic, Vixen has a mic, I have a mic. We have everything set up perfectly, and Skype is like, no. But anyway, all right. So let me tell you about my big fuck up. So, number one, my friend crossed the line that she normally doesn't cross, just like I don't normally cross it. I typically do not hook friends up with friends. Ever. It's very rare if I ever do that, because I don't ever want to be caught in the backlash of anything. But Nika has met everyone I've ever dated, and she's my guardian. So you get past her, if she likes you, I'll probably marry you. Like, for real. Like, if my mom likes you, my mom likes everybody. My mom's opinion counts, but if Nika likes you, that's different, because Nika looks at me differently. So we were talking one day, and she was making fun of me. She was like, you always date this certain type of chick and blah blah blah. And I had mad respect for her after she told me this, because I looked at it, and I at that time of my life, I was going after and pursuing the same type of chick, which I didn't need to do. So I was like, well, you always talking trash. I was like, hook me up with somebody. She was like, I don't know. I was like, come on. So she went through her friends, right? And oh my goodness. She was like, you know, go on your Facebook, look at this person. So I looked through the pictures, right? You know how it goes, don't you, Vixen?
I do.
So I looked through the pictures, and I'm like, okay. She was in the pictures. She was all right. She was all right. So I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. So gave me a number. You know, had a pretty good conversation on the phone. She was like, well, I'm gonna be in your area. So I was like, all right, cool. We can go get something to eat or whatever. Yo, when I saw this chick, she was so fine in person. Like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Like, just looking at where I was in life in general at that point, I shouldn't have been dating anybody or going on any dates. But I was so caught off guard by how fine she was. I couldn't function. I wasn't my normal laughy, jokey self. Like, it was bad,
you got
man.
shy?
I did. Yo, I wasn't ready, man. I wasn't. We went out to eat, and I could tell she was just kind of hanging in there, because I was like, oh my god, yo, I'm crashing and burning right now. I was struggling to find things to talk about, because she was just gorgeous. I mean, head to toe, she was just gorgeous, man. I was just like,
Did you want to suck her toes?
I did. And oh goodness, I'm still mad that I messed it up. I wish.
It sounds like you're blushing through the phone.
Shut up. No, I just wish I had a second chance. I probably could get one if I hit her up. We still
You should.
We're friends on Facebook. If I don't know. I don't know.
Do it.
Nah, my life is different now. But that just goes to show you, sometimes a blind date can go in the opposite direction, and you can end up being the dud too. Mm-hmm. So, because I was the dud. I know I was, man. She was very nice about it, and I knew I was a dud because we never really talked after that. And I was like, crap. Well, I was like, well, at least she got to eat a good meal, and I wasn't a jerk or anything like that. But yeah, I just couldn't get it together, yo. She caught me off guard, yo. I was like, ooh, like I already saw you, but oh, yeah. Now if we go out now, it'd be a lot different. I think I can hang a little bit better now. I'm much more mature. But that's all I got, y'all. That's all we got. We're done. Blind dates. We gave you some survival tips. We gave you our horror stories. But above all else, be safe, man. You know, if you're gonna go on these dates, Vixen, text somebody. Hey, I'm going out with such and such on such and such.
You can text me. I'm good at this.
Yeah.
My mom follows my location on my phone. That's really funny. That was like her one request when I moved to Chicago, that she follows my location.
Yes, I'm glad she did that. So there's that. Be safe, and like I said, you know, just, I mean, go in there with an open mind and go just to have fun. Like, if you go there thinking you're gonna meet, you know, Brad Pitt or freaking Halle Berry, then of course you're gonna be let down. You know, so you got to manage those feelings. And good things can come of it. I mean, I had a good date, but I ended up being a dud. Vixen just told us about her wonderful date where she got all this free stuff and that expensive Yankee candle. Y'all know about Yankee candles? Y'all need to Google it. Yankee candles is like better than Bath and Body Works candles.
Hey, first of all, I can make those and sell them for half the price. It's just FYI.
So we're also being sponsored by Kira's Creams, where she makes bath bombs.
Cream? That sounds
she
so
makes.
Like...
That actually does sound really wrong.
And now I failed on a date, and now I failed as a host. So before I fail any further, thank you all for listening. Thank you, Vixen, for joining us. Thank you, Kira, for taking time out of your busy day and your crazy schedule to join us.
I know.
And we will see, and thank y'all for just being with us through these technical difficulties, and we will see y'all the next time on She Said, He Said. Peace.
Bye.